Good morning to you. I'm Jeff Slakey. I've got some great guests in studio today. We're going to talk a little bit about things that are happening at the Mason Transit Authority's Transit Community Center. We've got Kathy Geist in studio. We also have Keoki Kauanoe. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming in again and bringing a great guest again, Kathy.
Thank you for having us.
Keoki, you are with Family Education and Support Services. I'm looking at familyess.org is the website, and it is FESS 2.0 at the Mason Transit Authority Community Center.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about Family Education and Support Services.
Well, so Family Education and Support Services, we're based in Thurston County, but we work out of Lewis County, Mason County, and Pierce County.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, and we basically provide parent education to just wrap around an empathic envelope around kids so that their parents have a better understanding about child development and just how to provide a warm, loving, caring environment for their kids to grow up in.
How do you get parents to come to this?
Well, we come to radio stations.
Well, that's a great answer right there. That is a great answer. I mean, these are great classes to help with parents, but I know the times and the time in the day is very tight for new parents, but they find the time to learn some of these skills. What are some of the skills that they learn in the classes that you talked about?
Well, the classes that I teach specifically are they're focused on fathers. Mm-hmm. So I do parenting classes like Dynamic Dads and our new class, Bringing Back the Dads. Mm-hmm. And what I found is a lot of the training involves self-reflection.
Okay.
Looking at themselves. Before you can parent your child, you have to be able to parent yourself.
Sure.
And so that involves just honestly looking at yourself, seeing and understanding your things that you need to work on as a dad. We talk about, I tell my guys that none of us are famous. We'll live our lives. We'll live on in the memory of our children. If we're lucky, we'll live on in the memory of our grandchildren. But after that, we'll just be stories that get told. And after that, we won't even be in the stories anymore. And then after that, even our bones turn to dust. So there's nothing we do for the most part that lives on, except that we know that people tend to parent the way they were parented.
Oh, okay.
And so I tell my guys 300, 400, 500 years from now, there'll be a dad that will parent their son or daughter the way that you choose to parent your son or daughter now.
Isn't that interesting? I never thought about it that way. It sounds like it could be an emotional journey.
It's very emotional. It's very emotional. There's each one of my guys, we have the classes are 12 weeks long, but each one of my guys is like a novel that we read together. Uh-huh. And the great thing about the Dynamic Dads and Bringing Back the Dads is it provides a safe community for guys to talk about their feelings and things that are happening to them. We have guys that share things that they've never shared with anyone.
Wow.
At all. And it's moving. Our graduations are cry fests. I will oh, they're very cathartic. One of graduation we had a couple years ago, the guy that started our class was going through with separation, and his wife and their 2 sons were going to go through a divorce. And at the end of our 12 weeks graduation, his family came and she basically said that the class saved her family, and we all just cried.
Oh my God.
And she talked about, well, she said, the other classes that FESS provides help too, but the just the conversations that she would have with her at the time separated from husband really brought them together, and it was amazing.
Isn't that something?
It's beautiful.
That's a great story to pass along. What are some of the other things that FESS teaches, the other classes?
Well, actually, we have classes and support groups.
Okay.
So we have support groups for a program called Kinship Care, because the climate in society now is very turbulent, and we have situations where children are being cared for by their grandparents or their uncles and aunts, and these are adults who, they thought their parenting days were done, and come to find out that they're not, and so they need a lot of support. So our Kinship Cares program has support services for them. We also have an MRT class for men and women, moral recognition training. And that's a class similar to Dynamic Dads, in which you kind of look at yourself. It's a lot of self-reflection. And you ask yourself, what kind of parent do I want to be? And then you look at that model and you say, okay, what do I need to do? What changes do I need to make in my life and my perceptions in order to be that model of parent for my kids?
Where do you get the curriculum for this?
We have nationally recognized curriculums. The Dynamic Dads comes from a Nurturing Fathers curriculum that was put together by a man named Mark Perlman. And that curriculum was designed, it was created looking at research done by a Dr. Stephen Bavelek, 30 years of research into parenting to put together the Nurturing Fathers training.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What, obviously privacy and things like this, but can you give me an age of maybe the youngest dad there and the oldest dad there? Or was it perhaps a granddad that realized maybe I need to...
Yeah. The youngest dad I've had in my class was 15, and the oldest dad I've had, I think, was 70.
Wow.
Yeah. My class, what's incredible about my class is that I have maybe like 10 to 15 dads, but collectively they'll represent 30 kids in our community.
Whoa.
It's pretty, yeah. So one of the things I love about FESS is I look at it as a force multiplier, in that we'll have like maybe 5 or 10 parents or grandparents or caregivers in a class, but they represent double that number of kids in the community.
Kathy, how has FESS been as a tenant there at the community center?
Oh my gosh, all of our tenants are great. We were just talking about it last night at our board meeting, and we'll be full as of February. And we were talking about that's a success. But for me, the biggest success of are the actual tenants that we have in there. We've brought it together, this group of tenants that are all working together, all with the same goals in mind, the same community goals, and FESS was just sort of the cherry on the top of the cake. I've been kind of watching what some of the things that they do on in these Saturday classes and reading about it, and it's pretty amazing. It's amazing how we think that these things come naturally, and they don't.
Right.
Parenting does not come naturally, and for men, I feel like it's because of society. We've made it hard for them to ask for help, and we've made it hard for them to say, I need to learn about this. I didn't wake up yesterday just knowing how to be a good dad,
right,
or grandfather, or even husband. But Keoki had some really good statistics here that I thought he should go over, because I've seen those before, these statistics, and about how important a father's role is, however that looks, whether it be a separated family or whatever. But maybe go over that. I think that's really interesting.
So a lot of times I'll have dads come to class and they'll feel that their role is completely discounted. I had a guy in my last class who said that he came to my class, but he had already decided to move back to Florida because he felt that he really wasn't important for his daughter, that his daughter would get along fine without her dad, because he got along fine without his dad.
Or he thinks he did.
Or he thinks he did, yeah. He thinks he did.
Yeah.
Good point.
So he came to my orientation, and I basically give them reams of information, but I condense them to these statistics. So children who come from a fatherless home are 5 times more likely to commit suicide, 9 times more likely to drop out of school, 9 times more likely to end up in a state-operated institution, 10 times more likely to abuse chemical substances, 14 times more likely to commit rape, 20 times more likely to have behavioral disorders, 20 times more likely to end up in prison, and 32 times more likely to run away.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
Wow.
It's amazing.
And
we keep asking what's going on. We keep asking ourselves, what's going on?
Yeah.
What's going on with our young men? Why are we failing them? Well,
there's some
that's
numbers
part
right
of it,
there.
probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
My goodness. I'm looking on the website again, familyess.org. It looks like coming up on Saturday, there is a so we're Consider the Children, Mason County here on Saturday from 9 to 1. Is that still open for folks to register?
Yeah, just give us a call, and we can fit you in on multiple classes. We have Consider the Children running in 3 different counties.
What are the costs, Keoki? How does that work?
Yeah, what's the price on this?
I believe for that one...
Let me see, I can probably just click on it and see
click
it.
on it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause I'm
click
not-
on it. You tell us.
I don't do that end.
$50
$50, yeah.
for
There you
a
go.
whole day of great information.
Yeah.
Wow, very
And that is a
nice.
great class. I took it when I was a single father, and I did not know that there's a list of the top 100 things that affect kids going through divorce, and divorce rated higher than death of a parent.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Because that's probably what it feels like a lot
Sure.
of times.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming in and give us a little bit more about family education and support services now at the Mason Transit Community Center. Kathy Geist here, as well as Keoki Kauanoe. Good morning, and thank you very much both for coming in here.
Thank you.
Good to see you guys.